Well, it's another round on Lotus and another 13-11 on Lotus. That's going to be Turtle Troop taking the win there. You guys know if I had a nickel for every time we had a 13-11 on Lotus and Challengers, nickels. I'd have a lot of nickels. I've had too many nickels, that's for sure. But it was honestly, Gompers, a close one through and through. I mean, I think Van said it at some point. This is definitely one that could have gone into that overtime at some point.
No, I definitely agree. I think there was a lot of fight going through when it came to the Glazers. And honestly, I think a big portion of that was just, I feel like Corey kind of lost their groove at some point, really getting those entries. And it wasn't because of Corey alone. It was like solely based on the fact that the Glazers just got really good at keeping a hold of the site when they did transition over to that defensive pressure.
Where they kind of fell through, though, where overtime would have been at least a saving grace for the Glazers. But this technically should have closed into the favor of the Glazers, to be honest with you, because there was 2 rounds that were thrifty/half buys that came out from Turtle Troop over on that A site that they converted into a win that really didn't allow the Glazers to really close out that round. And these rounds as well, whenever they had opportunities to play against a lower buy, any type of lower buys from Turtle Troop, they lost so many guns in the process. So Turtle Troop did a great job keeping at least the economy low so they could always fight back in the game, maintain their lead, and then see what we see in the end. Just them losing the Glazers, that is, to 2 majority Singer buys.
Vance is holding on to so much hope that the Glazers, his pick, is going to run away with it. And I respect that. It should have been. I respect it.
You say it should have been, but it wouldn't have been, because if you're looking, if the whole cope behind it is, oh, well, they shouldn't have, lads. Okay, yeah, they shouldn't have, but they did, you know? So they maybe got a couple of things to look at, and then I'll give Turtle Troop's credit for that too, for really pushing the Glazers in that point when they didn't have the buys. You know, that shouldn't have been a good position for them, and they made something out of it, and ultimately that's going to net them the win in the end here, man. So I can't let you cope too much, or I'm bringing you back to reality.
I mean, look at it. If you're looking on the side of the MVP, Riku, they went playing as a Gecko and top frag for the team, where
that was crazy.
It wasn't only on the fragging department that Riku was bringing to the plate, is the amount of retakes that actually went in favor of TG when they were actually retaking these sites was also thanks to util that Riku was currently using. Dizzy's at the right moment that still somehow got goops on players when there's not a flash that combines with that Dizzy. And even a wingman that disrupts the secret locations of, for example, Corey in that round 23 or 24 under the A heaven to spot him out, to allow at least a chance for TG to start retaking the site. They played that map very, very well for the team and definitely put a lot of these players in their backpack to potentially win that game. But unfortunately, again, it should have been.
Backpack wasn't big enough. The backpack wasn't big enough. But of course, history written by the victors. So we do have to be talking about the duelists on the winning team here. We have Corey. Honestly, we were talking about you two. Sorry, I was listening. I was a third party behind the scenes. Talking about the Neon. Exactly. Going into this, honestly, I love seeing some Neon gameplay. Gomps, I would love to know your thoughts about this.
I actually really did enjoy Corey's Neon. I think Corey had just the correct amount of oomph on a Neon to make it work very, very well. I felt like what happened was they just continued to shut down Corey at some point, and they started to learn how to play against that aggressiveness, against the play style of Corey, as well as it really was just like Neon is a super fast-paced player. You're going into sites by yourself. You're going into I guess you could say retakes by yourself as well. So it was punishable, but I think Corey still did a great job at holding their own.
And not only that, it was Corey on defense that you're not entering sites or actually even pushing the extremities and not allowing your opponents to get out of spawn. So seeing him getting 6 first bloods, I mean, one of them was that beautiful dash that he had, the slide on the seaside with combination of B-Dog on top of that to be able to get 2 kills at the entry. So I think that what he was doing was a great job to disrupt how Turtle Troop wanted to work the Glazers wanted to work that map on the attack. So they really had to be thinking on their toes throughout the whole first map there for the Glazers. But you know, all of that Corey was doing wasn't without the help of B-Dog to be able to get all those kills. And you see that's why even both of them were really top fragging in that last map.
Had to pick one for the graphic, all right? Couldn't pick all of them to do for the
Triple
individual
double for
stats.
B-Dog on a breach, by the way. Yep.
Hey, crazy teams and crazy players, all right? But now we got to start setting up for the next map we have in this series, Bind. This one is the Glazers pick, Turtle Troop. It was their map pick of Lotus that they were able to take home. I'm curious about Bind because, again, we have teams of varying different experiences that we have on, or at least different levels of tape that we have on here. So, Gomps, when we're looking at recent Turtle Troop, this will be interesting to see what they're thinking.
They came out with color this time around. They came out with something that I was really excited to see. And I'm kind of hoping it's the same thing again. Again, they've had so much time to really indulge in the compositions that they wanted to play within the season. They knew they were in Challengers. They knew who they were going up against. And I feel like they've read pretty well into knowing what's going on.
Well, I'm hoping that we get to see something fun, but regardless, I'm just here for some good Valorant. I think with these two teams, we'll get it either way. Our agent select is ready. It's time to head over to Bind. I'll catch you two after.
Yes, give me some fun.
I was about to say, and surprising and new, we will in fact get. I really enjoy this. Dude, the Yoru in addition with the Gecko is going to be great. And I do, listen, if there's anything we've learned, the Cypher is gone for a reason. The Yoru is going to dominate.
Yeah, and especially with the the chamber that you currently had in the past for the Glazers was trying to find some aggressive information and TPing away, and you could literally do that with the Yoru, and on top of that, add flashes to it. So this is a nice little min-maxing that you're currently seeing from the composition that Glazers is bringing over to this map. So it's not going to really, yes, it's going to change the playstyle a little bit, because it allows for them to be more active around the map. And I think that's what we're missing on that previous series when we're seeing a Yoru on the other end and a team that wasn't playing a Yoru wasn't adapting well enough. Like the way that I like to see it when you're seeing a Yoru on the map is kind of like watching two football teams go against each other at the line of scrimmage before you snap the ball. You have, you know, the wide receiver or whoever is going to be the running back, rather, going left and right to just try to pivot at the right place. That's your Yoru in the composition. So what you have to do on a defense is to stay on your man. So if you hear a TP, just rotate, try to find something. And now that you add this extra Yoru for the Glazers, you could literally do the same thing. So if you get faked out by a fake TP, you could still go back and TP back to where the hit is actually going to be happening here for either of these teams. So you could have more bodies on site to defend.
This is, I think, with Corey too. Man, Corey just loves to play the exotic duelists. But I think with this Yoru as well, it's going to fit pretty well into the playstyle of Corey. So Turtle Troop versus the Glazers. We got two teams battling it out to see who's going to be able to run away with the victory. Is it going to be Turtle Troop ending things off in a 2-0, or the Glazers possibly taking things to a third map? There is a huge possibility here. Again, this is, I believe, the Glazers map pick. So,
and
looking statistically, they should have this one in the bag.
I love that it's Zachary that's playing the Yoru, by the way. So he's going to go head-to-head, and I mentioned on that previous map against one of his old teammates being Corey, playing together on TSM, playing together on FaZe. Like, these two guys are play together in Overwatch, even on top of that. These guys are no slouch to each other, and now they get to play mirror match Euro to see who's the best. So there's going to be definitely some laugh in the old chat very soon in this game. Although TTR on the attack, they're just waiting for flashes to come out early from the Glazers as they're trying to find information. But for the Glazers, they're just jump spotting for now.
Actually making some way, so it's pretty aggressive off the rip down towards main. Drone gaining a lot of space too. Clearing space, I guess you could say.
He was actually playing right where the TP was, so
yeah.
He definitely knew that Corey was trying to go for some sort of shenanigan play to take U-Haul control inside the Viper Orb, so he stood in there and he got the first blood. Good start.
Here. And it came some information at first that we might be 3 players down, but Precision is feeling confident regardless of that. As to who they're going to be able to take out. And a backup from Ange, not wanting to pick the fight too much.
And because Drone got that kill onto U-Haul, it wasn't really on him that kept the players back towards that B site for the Glazers. There was actually even a late flash that came out during the action of the A site that confirmed that there was still somebody playing towards B. So nobody rotated out.
One enemy remaining.
Working hard, getting kills. The Glazers starting off for that first round win, but rightfully so. Again, it was a pretty good partnership they had going on. The try to shut things down really set the tone there the moment Drone got that first blood.
Now we're going to bring out the Outlaw from Zachary too. And I'm liking this. He's going to place a TP pretty much potentially for B or just staying on Heaven so they could try to get Showers control at the start. And it's definitely looking to be a TP back towards Heaven so that even if the shot's missed or he's getting heavily pressured, he could still shoot the Outlaw from the Unfortunately, just breaks the drone instead. The decoy that was thrown out by Corey. But at least he got the information there. And the dog confirms this as well as Precision brings it through the TT.
Not looking forward to pushing down towards that A site, but luckily enough, they do have weeded smokes. We're just prepped up and ready to try to take out anybody who's looking for something. But again, straight through the smoke, finds the leg of B-Dog. And is able to find that pick, though. Down inside of U-Haul space, not being taken up. Incendiary grenade, keeping these players pretty set back.
I'm going to play patiently here. I mean, you don't want to risk it. You want to rush it. Just let Zachary be the tower, watching it down on the A site, see who's moving around. Just find the omen, heard the tap on the spike. Riku can now move in, and they get 2 picks out of that. Stellar's thrown on 4 HP, and that's going to end it there. So very well done. You keep your distance against full classics, because TTR understands that potentially Zachary loves using the Outlaw. He doesn't want to invest into anything in that round.
Replay to set the tone for how exactly the Glazers have been playing. And you can obviously see Rico doing a really good job at getting that first pick regardless. I mean, not really too many weapons to play with there, but playing a pretty aggressive game through TP, already set down. Oh, it was a good TP, but of course the decoy is not going to do too much work there.
And that's one of the early things that Tens used to do when we started using a Euro on this map. Just always condition. Maybe at some point it's a real Euro that goes in there that holds the teleporter to get a trap play on Sands. To start things off, though, you give up towards the B main. We just trying to go for an instant pick here. And we trade off spits for both Vipers. Uma did see a lot, though. And they're just waiting for the minute mark to hit for DTR. There's a flood of util. Pain shells to keep him at bay.
Yeah, beautiful nade too. Actually zoning these players in. It leaves Drone with a 2K. That works out perfectly planted. If you're the Glazers. They have the majority. At this point, all they need to do is to continue to keep their ground and slowly start to work themselves back out. Take these 1v1s as they come. But unfortunately for Ange, in a really weird position. You got Weeded and Adder watching this out. Again, whatever happens next is up to them.
Well, whatever happens here is that PG are just going to try to trade out. Weeded continues to be a threat right now. Where he should always be at a one and done, yet always manages to get 2 at least. Well, at least it's just a bonus round that you currently have here on the other end. Now we get to see Weeded. I mean, look at that. Even dropping over, repositioning, good crosshair placement. It started off well, though, for TG with the utility that they were using towards that B side. But in the end, when you have players like Weeded able to do the things that they could do, the Glazers couldn't convert in their bonus. Change of pace, though. Tempoing down towards a flash at long B. They get contact now for the Glazers, and they're trying to get Zachary in an off angle. They try to go for a pick and TP away, but this is now instantly both flashes used at the 120 mark. Which then means for TTR, they could slowly leave this mid B. Oh, sorry, leave this long B and then re-hit it potentially a little bit later because there's going to be a lot less util on this B site. Hear the dog, too. There's one more util left in the sky for the field.
Now they've set down the util on A, and the spike's heading down there as well. Turtle Troop looking pretty aggressive this time around, but not actually peeking out through the smoke. So it's up to Riku and Drone to hold majority of the site. 75% still in their pockets, but it's needed to slowly open things up.
And I like this, the buddy system that they have on the flank. Because you have no more util for position. Yeah, there you go. Never mind.
Didn't get it, unfortunately. The plan didn't work out. Double flash. Corey is just spraying it down, hoping that they can keep it intact, but it doesn't seem to work out that way. It's stellar. It's that TTR somehow managing to just hold things down. And again, being on the attack, slightly better for them. And over the top, there it goes. The Glazers playing a very, very good game on top.
Okay, so he was still up. I got confused in my skies at that point, but because Precision didn't really have any more util on that sky, he buddy system with Zachary so they could go for the double flank in towards short, because you can't really use sky util for a retake flash from the spawn side. So this allows for them to just at least guarantee trades and make sure right now that nobody can really play a post plan, because yes, there's no brimstone going in for Turtle Troop, but you still could do the lineups with the Viper and B-Dog with the Mosh, and that's why you still have a presence and an importance to retake at least Palm Tree on your retake for the defender side. So that's well done here for TG. The rest were just nice little swings, and Turtle Troop have to go back into a lower buy. Big showers control, pick it up an orb, and farming it right now onto Adder to start, but they decide otherwise. They want to give it to somebody else to potentially, here we go, activate this dimensional drip so they can gain value off the plant.
I'll handle this. Here,
exactly.
Oh, they're so lucky too. They just managed to get out of the way of death. Riku around the back actually keeps them alive just a little bit longer than Stellar. I mean, finding a way to make way. No smokes down. Everything completely dissipated at this point, so it's up to TTR to just keep their ground. They've lost round after round. This is where it finally ends for them. They can keep it together, though Ange making it just a little bit harder. No util to utilize anymore else, so they pretty much use everything just to keep the Blazers back. At this point, it's going to be even more difficult, though, the Vandal in hand. This is up to Corey. Yeah, Trailblazer takes it. They're still in a good position. It goes away the moment they fight back. And now they're still trying. Though defusal there. 1v2 situation. They still have enough time and was aiming for the spike first, but regardless of that, it's Ange to clear.
There was a moment there where that was doable, though. Corey somehow managed to escape the spray after being bit by the dog and almost swung out to get the pick there onto the diffuser. But that's where you get kind of lost in the sauce when you have two-dimensional drifts going on for both your routes. You're calling out all of these things, and then people are overextending on how they want to defend and defuse or prevent the spike from getting planted here, at least on the defense, which almost once again gave a smaller buy opportunity for Turtle Troop to convert that into a victory. So good on them right now to keep that economy low for the, I was going to mention it, the Guardians, the CTG, but the Glazers, so that if TTR wins this round here, you're breaking that economy, and you have a chance to bring it back to a 4-3 instantly.
Oh, yeah!
And they backed off. I've got your trail for something. She runs away with nothing, which might be good for TTR. This might be the moment for them to again find a way to bring that point back. 4-2 is the dream, but it seems like it's not going to come easily. The Blazers still somehow finding every single player inside of TTR. Yeah, though 3v3, B-Dog now diminishing those numbers. There's absolutely no util to utilize anymore. At this point, no Viper util, everything set down on the B site, and Zachary slowly working himself up to 70 health. And a one tap to the body. Ange detained, not able to get that assistance through. And of course, time of the essence.
Yeah, time is lost pretty much at this point. Ange is looking to at least get that pick onto B-Dog that will escape from U-Haul before he runs away. B-Dog feels it, so he's keeping an eye out, and there's a TP, so he's going to run away. All of them will be able to save their weapons safely. Not too sure what Ange was doing. I was like, that's why I was like, safely? Does he know something that I don't? But I guess
was
he
thinking
did
the
not.
same thing.
He did not know something that I didn't. But yeah, so yeah, somehow at that point, Seekers, as I was mentioning, was super important. That precision hand at the bottom of heaven, and getting those Seekers out would have allowed for you to get information on where else was the other two players, being Adder and B-Dog's teammate. Because B-Dog, you knew he was in U-Haul with the Thrash anyways.
I'll return.
But not using those Seekers to get an information to allow your team to really run in aggressively. What's the now at a deficit in terms of rifles in this round? There are rifles less, actually. A bunch of Sheriffs. And Turtle Troop have, once again, a chance to make it a 4-3 scoreline with how they're able to work the economy every single round here against TG.
Well, we did find that first. Takes the TTR already on a better stride than before. Drone was, honestly, that was a quirky move, but I did enjoy it. It worked out for the best. They still managed to get one. Continuing to find a way to fight this back. Still kind of creating that coverage that's needed, but Riku goes down.
They're just adding more fuel to the fire right now for TTR's comeback. These plants, economy's good. Slowly getting in, building up to this Thrash in a couple of rounds if they continue to keep more control in plants. The Blazers just trying to make it expensive. Then they'll take that back. And Nanj was able to get one more before he got dropped, so that's actually quite nice. You were able to make this very expensive. So we're going back and forth in this art of war between these two teams where that economy continues to stay low. But every time that it's low right now, it still feels like they're leaning more towards
Remaining.
Turtle Troop more than the Glazers to be able to convert at least in these lower buys.
Oh, Zachary's pulling out the op. I'm not gonna lie. I'm a bit worried about the op play, not for the sake of the Glazers, but more so for Turtle Troop. But I think, as for Turtle Troop, this is definitely a game where you really need to be careful. I think the Glazers, they owe a lot more respect than they've been given. It seems they're seeing that now.
Yeah, and I think actually bringing out the operator is a pretty good play here for Zachary too, because again, if you're able to, if you're playing chamber in the past, well, you're gonna play an op anyways. You're gonna have a total fuss as an alt also, and you could also still just op and TP away and move into different positions. And as Zachary's been using the outlaw in round 2 on Cypher, but he did that right. Now I'm watching too much VALORANT. I can't even remember anymore. But I think there was an outlaw that he used at least on Lotus, if not guaranteed an outlaw that he used on this map in round number 2. You definitely do know that at least for the Glazers, they do have a game plan to try to force out the op ASAP to give them more winning conditions on their defense.
Zachary's having fun though. They're pushed up heavy. Is they do have that TP set.
Perfect.
Exactly what they're going to do. The dog came out perfect timing too, because it gave Zachary some time to back off.
Well, actually the dog came on the attack, so it forced him to even move forward, and luckily gets the pick onto Corey to be able to TP away. That's a nice little swing shot of Flick to be able to TP away and give the advantage for the Glazers. And now a TP goes, this is going to get hurt at least by Adder. He could start throwing Seekers so that he could try to delay a little bit more. So that Ange wins this fight in Hookah. This is great for them so far.
The Blazers with the op being brought out. Coach is definitely not expecting it. And now especially with a showstopper readily available in case things start to go wary. It doesn't seem like that's going to be the case already. Everybody getting taken down, and it's B-Dog with the spike. They need one more pick before they take this rotation. I think that's what they're looking for here. Eliminating this one player is going to leave them in 1v2, give them a better chance at playing that pose plant, but 34 health left, and Riku making a pretty good comeback here.
Yeah, and even saw for Ange and Zachary, they're already pivoting out towards the A side to even try to pinch if there was a TP that was going to happen. That shot right there, beautiful to kick things off. And even throwing the instant Seekers when they hurt the TP out from the Omen, out towards the elbow from Stellar, it allows their precision to just anchor solo and and leave Ange to focus on a 1v1, and then that pit even blocks everything, and it was a confident pit, not afraid of any flankers, because the Seekers saw where the last game was. So a beautiful adaptation on the spot for the Blazers. Take a lead by 2. TTR back on the low buy. Trailblazer getting information on players inside showers. Corey with the rift, going back towards U-Haul, and it's clear at least for the attackers to move in for a plan.
Spike planted.
They didn't even have to do anything about it. That's what I love about this
Monster
man,
on the loose!
actually, Zachary pulling out
Welcome to my
the ultimate to see how far they can go. And they're doing a great job at doing so. Unfortunately, though, for Pro, not actually able to find anyone. So now you've put yourself in a position where you can't even find the Viper. The Viper's pit up, gaining so much ground for the defense. Quickly but surely makes their way in. Weedic going to be the biggest issue, not able to find them or take that out. But then again, the Glazers still finding so much ground, and Weedic goes down as well. And now, not a lot of work and effort can be done to try to stop this defusal. 6-3, the defense is pretty solid.
I mean, that was almost the second time on the lower buy that Corey, again on a 1 versus 2, was so close to getting the diffuser and potentially winning the round on time. A 1 versus 2, and they had a lower buy for TTR. The dimensional drift got all that information from the plant to get the pit out, and getting a showstopper with no value. I mean, I love it that both players backed up in the showers and still ran back in the pit to keep it up. And from the way that, how the pit was placed, I'm pretty sure that was just on the fly. But unintentionally, it was a perfect moment there, so that if the pit was still up and Corey had to spray from short, it was easy for him to know where the was going. That said, though, a rush for showers, beautiful util, nobody falling back, and as they don't fall back, the drone pays the price.
Set up the wingman. Give themselves space to push out.
I got you.
But even with that happening, there's nobody that's gonna in the right of mind that's gonna try to look for something like that. Seekers, though, giving away the location of Reef. The rotation is actually very heavily being made, but the flank is the issue. Viper set down, about to fight Stellar. I don't think Anch knows, but they still managed to make the shot happen.
Spike
this
planted.
is huge. They can sandwich this play in and quite possibly find a little bit more space on the defense. But the head of Reef being found out just by the Dizzy alone.
One enemy remaining.
They can't seem to find the shot. Although regardless, the flank's still capable of putting in the work. Anticipation of the smoke not coming in just yet. Actually using that smoke to try to funnel in Ange, but Ange not following the rules. Ends up getting taken out by B-Dog instead.
Yeah, I just feel like there's not enough utility to help the Blazers back on the retake on the site. And this is beautifully read so far.
Inside joke.
By Stellar and like heads up calling that they're currently doing. As they know that Zachary has a top right now, this is twice that they just commit towards a flood into showers, so that 1, they avoid the op on the B side if they needed to, and 2, they can use a bunch of utility to go through the shower side to just prevent line of sight to be taken there from Zachary with the op. And flooding that way allows for them to get free orb control and also popping out of showers with the wingman plan. This is something that the Glazers have to start adapting right away. And it'll be difficult in this round. It'll have to be in round number 12. As I mentioned before, when they have a lower buy for TG, they seem to have less chances to win versus TTR, at least from bird's eye view of what's been happening so far in the state of the game in this series. Or at least Flash gets information towards long B. And the more that TTR are currently waiting here for a plant, I mean, it might fall out a Brimstone bolt to just cancel even those plans. So TTR has all the time and the map in the world to really work fine in their favor.
There's my buddy.
Oh, waiting for the flash to just peek out. Corey with a 2K, finding the third. Either way, 3 players peeking out with a sheriff and some classics. Somebody should have made some sort of damage, or at least a dent.
30 seconds left.
Sky's
Let's
out.
take our time, move in, get the orb, TP out, don't let Drone get some more kills, don't force him to die yet, so you can move out and get a plant and get ready for another ult in the next round. I just love how you're staying calm under the pressure here for TTR, not rushing to things. And actually, he didn't even need another ult.
10 seconds
Actually, he
left.
took it from the
Thrash is
showers
ready.
and planted here and has Thrash. So that's a GG. Nice little map rotation around to play against the lower buy of the Glazers, and really, again, great objective capitalization from Turtle Troop.
Jonas just takes options. And at this point, I mean, that's what they're going to have to do, just write it down, but location instantly given away. Corey knows where to look.
Last
Turtle
round
Troop
before the switch.
doing a good
money
job
now.
at reeling themselves
There's
back
no
in.
bank in hell.
And the beauty right now of having this Euro in your composition as well for how it's going to be attacked by Turtle Troop is that you don't really need to use the Thrash to do the information clearing. You could use the Euro to do that, and then use your Thrash for Pulse Plant instead to prevent the flood to happen for the Glazers. And thankfully, at least for the Glazers, Riku have kept their orbital strike in this round.
Oh,
There you go. See, he tries to go towards the showers and then gets denied right away by a decoy. Someone takes that shot.
Right away, but it worked out in the end. Oh, I actually, for a second, I'm not gonna lie, I was also tricked by that decoy. Over the top, though, still up in heaven, looking down below at everybody else. It's going to be Zachary. Can't seem to find the shots, though. The smokes are going to make this difficult, especially the fact that everything has been planned. They just need to wait for the perfect moment.
She's still gunning for you.
B-Dog just did not care. Either way, they're still going to try their absolute best to get somebody down before something happens. Some of the damage made on Precision, and it's up to Stellar and Corey at this point. Make something happen.
standing.
They saw Zachary, but they
enemy
still
remaining.
managed to let it go. Stellar, though, with the one tap, looking for the next, and it's the 3K Zippo clutch to keep this 6-6 half.
Again,
Switching
when it
sides.
comes down to Euro on Euro, Zachary gets the best out of Corey, but the rest of the roster around Pulse Plant, oh, that was a beautiful shot, by the way. But the rest, when it comes down to the
enemy
Pulse
remaining.
Plant, is just perfect for TTR to just get these clutches. Very well done for Stellar on that last final round of the half, where it really came down to just being precise on your shots, and both teams were pristine on them. Blazers have a chance now to press forward with this Euro composition with the Rays as well. So they are able to add a little bit more pressure now with a drone playing a Rays instead of a single duelist on the other end for Turtle Troop.
Decoy.
It might be a little bit more explosive.
Cutting
and
through.
it's starting off with just a slow default, trying to get information towards that B side, trying to sell a bit towards the B side as well. 2 sets of footsteps with a dog, they flash across, they towards the DP, and the rest are now moving forward.
Corey takes one. And Zachary with a trade, so you still got that 4-4 coming through. Whoever wins this one starts off with the lead, feeds into the ego of Manny. Seems like, yeah. Okay, Peyton Shell trying to back out the player of Stellar, and that they must do. It is going to be pretty hard for TTR, playing together, though, managing to get the both.
Someone's there.
And absolutely no detail to utilize Riku and Zachary. Instead, just having
enemy
to rely
remaining.
on that aim, but 2
Enemy
players
remaining.
peeking them around the corner. Not gonna work out too well. Right click needed. Zachary does it, and they find that 7-6.
What a big pistol round there for a Zachary, counting the bullets on B-Dog 2, spraying in the smoke to run out and get that kill. But 4 kills in a round, and I think if you want to VLR it at the end of this game, just try to see the performance differences between Zachary and Corey, because I feel like Zachary is Euro-dipping the head-to-head against Corey so far. But I love it. They sold a perfect fake on that Sans for the Glazers to allow Zachary to get all that space on that B side, behind all that util and behind bodies with him to capitalize on that victory. Yes, he had to win a clutch, but he'll take it. He'll take anything so far when things haven't been going so well on your end when you have like these disadvantaged situations.
Decoy.
Zachary set the zero. Seems like here slowly working themselves in. They know at least 2 players are there, which is great. The back off from Zachary shows this might not be the key to it, especially with 3 players around on B, so good call.
Yeah, all of them towards the hookah. They're just trying to go for right click classics at this point. now they saw the Wingman coming in through the teleporter, so they know that the Gecko B-Dog is playing towards the A site. They want to finish it in that area. Snakebite comes through to allow at least something to happen. There's actually their own teammates running through that, yet they still got the kill. It doesn't matter. All good.
Yeah.
Over here.
Zachary knows there's going to be more than 2 peeking with some sort of cohesion. Definitely worked out for the best, but regardless, 140 tap to Corey. And you're looking for Adder, and that as well, you may as well close off. So
Done here.
yeah, TG looking to keep their stride going.
And it's looking quite good. So far, winning pistol converting the anti-eco. That's been the story so far for the Glazers, winning both pistols to this map and converting those. So it allows you to get a pretty good cushion. But they still ended on a 6-6 half in the end. If you lost pistol and second round for TTR, you're able to repeat this so far on your defensive side. You might be able to run away with this. And TG, lure by, Deathball as a group on towards short palm tree. Well, they hear the ruckus happening towards the showers.
I think Stellar knows somebody's close as well. So many smokes just left down onto the site. So if they don't push, it would go to waste. Spike still settled down. Not gonna look for his home yet though. B-Dog gets a beautiful 2K just to keep things going for TTR. A quick Zenny flawless. No life lost.
Holy crap, that was clean. And that was all thanks to Stellar on the top of the APC. Getting the first kill on drone, and then even delaying with the kill. Because they've done so much delay, and there's just so much utility delaying the TG's plant, those smokes dissipated after the 20-second mark, where it makes it even harder for them to plant. So a great job here for Turtle Troop to really run that clock down on the smokes here against the Glazers, where they thought they had site control over the whole time.
Here.
Especially after they heard the amount of footsteps that went out towards the tower.
Next.
Somehow we get an early crash, a push here. TTR wants to continue to run the pace on defense.
Spike down.
Running the pace they are, honestly, TTR are not playing around anymore. They're shutting things down so early on for the Blazers because they know they can win out these fights. And that's exactly what they'll do. The drones just allowing this to happen. The disrespect that TTR just had in this round.
That is crazy. Thrash down and following through, then you could TP across for their end with the amount of flashes that you have on a pinch from the Sands. Feels like Turtle Troop was just ready in the background of what they're trying to do here for the Glazers in run number 4. As I mentioned before, like there's some defense that's seen, although this is a slightly different composition that we're seeing from from the Glazers. It almost feels like, again, if you still have a Euro instead of a chamber, it's just min-maxing where potentially your default still stays the same. It's probably read here by Turtle Troop. A little bit of pinch.
Scout destroyed.
The Glazers and force them in a shield.
I like that. Kind of clearing out the top of box just in case they do want to push this out. Here they do. Pre-fire on it. B-Dog takes that first pick. Not much. Of course, flash comes through. You're still waiting on B-Dog to make the shot. And they do have a dizzy and a mosh pit, so here they could keep this back. Then again, not wanting to. Yeah, footsteps heard. Drone definitely understands where Corey is.
I mean, on the attack, he's just trying to keep them at
30 seconds left.
Hookah, so the rest can try to walk out towards short A.
Yeah.
They do so with the Viper Wall. Drone's trying to push forward. For them, they're probably still thinking, okay, it's probably just Ange walking across, but there's actually
One enemy remaining.
Long already. It's like it's something changed. Like once they got weapons for TTR, you just can't do anything about it. Absolutely.
At least with the replay, you can definitely see it. I mean, everybody's always ready for
One enemy remaining.
TTR, right? And when you're trying to play contact that way, you've lost your smokes early. Not really anything you can do if you're trying to overextend behind enemy lines to try to get some trades. Might as well try to go for at least some sort of a plan to get your economy up. Although this is still going to be a gun round no matter what for the Glazers. You want to add a little bit more in terms of that 300 credit to continue to build that bank. Because Turtle Troops are doing a great job keeping that economy low every single time you finish the engagement off these rifle rounds. Because look at that. Or another first blood.
Scout destroyed.
Adder's still looking for it too. Okay, nice Trailblazer.
Cover going down.
Gives away location outside of TP, so there is going to be majority there. TTR. However, giving away dissipation of the smoke there. But then again, not able to get any sense of refract potential. That's going to put you in a pretty awkward position of your TTR. You've only been able to take out one, so for the price of two, definitely looking at things a bit negatively here. No flash to be said, but it's Ange to take the shot off of B-Dog, and Corey's ready to try to peek the angle, but a 3v1,
standing.
and I don't think they know it.
Brimstone down.
Yeah, TTR, only way to win this up. If they can manage to take this half, yeah, regardless, it's not going to work.
Okay, that was actually quite nice in the end on how the Glazers just counteract again, off the cuff, on the fly, of seeing that. Who was it here on showers? I think it was Zachary. Yeah, it was Yoru. Got spotted by the dog. He TPs away. While the other ones are on short, they hear the amount of util and the steps running out towards showers. So they speed up here towards short A to actually pinch him towards the back of showers and also get a flat there. And that keeps actually TTR. They flipped the map over. There were so many flankers and not enough on the other end that TP could just play the post plan inside the site.
Trailblazer set out. Corey knows they're outside. This is huge, though. Corey doesn't have to do anything other than just sit here and let everybody know they do have a flash. They're not planning to open doors just yet.
And that was the thing. Yeah, that's the condition I was telling you before. Now Corey's inside the TP. They were still jump spotting towards B. If they saw somebody there was going to be a flash coming in from the sky, they could pinch across. But instead, actions at A site.
Joe's actually getting ready to utilize this showstopper, but unfortunately not going to have too much impact, honestly. But over the round,
Spike
still
down
looking good.
A.
Vulnerability helping out Weeded and taking that action for. And even then, it's Drone just
player standing.
still looking for more, but it's not going to work out. 2 feet, 1, and everybody lined up perfectly for precision. But 1 up, 1 below. Yeah, Corey to clean up.
Got something nice to through the wall. Unfortunately, couldn't get the kill, but the high-low with not necessarily a stack, but it's a crouch with the other one standing behind, so you at least try to guarantee the trade. Beautifully done there for Turtle Troop. In the end, they take the lead here with, unfortunately, a showstopper that couldn't get too much value. I think that's what I heard, right? A showstopper that went through. Drone's at 3, so maybe he got a kill after that and then died, but now the Glazers are forced to call it another timeout. Their last one of the map, once again, Turtle Troop, same scenarios we've seen on that first map. They're able to regain the lead. Now they're running away in terms of econ. They've burned out their opponent's timeout, so they can now use 2 timeouts in the most important rounds that they may have to try to close out the series. But props on these 2 teams to continue to make this game very close and give us at least a spectacle to watch.
It got scary after a while for the Glazers, especially with just the consistency starting to come out of TTR. A big portion of that really is they've been getting pretty heavy on the defense. Applying that pressure. I'm looking to see if that's going to happen again. Early information out of TP, whether that be with the Yoru or just finding some space down inside of Hookah. So just going to continue doing that, because if it worked, there's no need to fix anything.
Blinded.
Oh, they're going for it. They did not want anything to change. They don't want to see what the Glazers have been planning. I mean, even then, it is a pistol round, so regardless, not much to plan for.
A little bit of a half buy that they had on that too with the Classics and 2 Guardians, and managed to get 2 out of that. They're pretty happy with what you've done on the B-side pressure, but your alert once again, unfortunately, is denied here by Weeded. You have a 3-3, you upgrade 1 weapon at least, and chances to take this B-site.
Corey backed off. Done with the situation, so Dimensional Trick pops up to try to, I mean, really see if they can reposition themselves, and that they do, but leaving things in a 1v2 and Stellar not even near the B-site TP, giving away the location as well.
Shadows
Spike planted.
Finally,
stealing sight.
in the later rounds, TG are the ones that are flipping it over with the lower buy. This seems to be a more even matchup than anything so far between these two teams.
Thrifty.
Thrifty win.
I don't care if there are 5 of them or 50 of them. Let's go.
Pretty much done and said if you're Turtle Troop. That's surprising too. You would think in a thrifty round you wouldn't push the opposing side. You would think you would allow them to
Time to jump.
really engage in those fights. I guess again, the greediness and the lack of respect really did shine through within that round. Then again, keeping that and seeing us, so they know that Adder's going to try to play for this flash, so anti there coming through from Drone.
It was actually flashed close too, so I don't think that it got too much info out of that one. So Blazers are taking advantage of walking up and scale towards the long B, ADSing down around the corner with this Guardian, but unfortunately couldn't get the pick. Will be forced to reposition and forfeit the orb for somebody on the attack to potentially pick it up, and that could have been Drone. But instead they decide to just cut noise and trying to see if Turtle Troop wants to continue with that confidence to peek out for some information. Now it forces out a Trailblazer to just wait at the entrance of the B site. They dog back into Hookah instead. They're going to try to get the dog
down. Initiator down, now it's up to Adder. Oh man, and the greediness is starting to come through. They have no real reason to be pushing angles like these.
Spike planted.
Yeah, well, at least when one player falls down towards Hookah, you have to try to swing out, right? You've lost a player in the process. You're trying to make a play. Your dog already spotted Riku as they were lurking up towards the long B side, so you know it's a 1v1. So at least Adder, what he was trying to do was flash through Weeded's wall and hopefully catch Riku there to make it a 4-4. And that would have potentially changed the story of that round for TTR to attempt to retake this round. But instead, with the second flash does not get a contact that was thrown by Adder, and the second flash that doesn't get a contact, he pays the price, loses the fight, and now TG are on their way to actually get a flawless, although they want to throw their bodies away to make this round very expensive for TTR. I mean, look at what they have in terms of credit. They got nothing left. They could drop these last 2 guns, and they cannot. They'll be able to save it for TTR. And being able to save 2 guns for Turtle Troop, I still have to give them some chances that they might be able to close the round despite having a lower buy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, timeout brought about from Turtle Troop. Struggles starting to come out. Obviously, whatever the Glazers talked about prior definitely started to take effect into the mindset of Turtle Troop.
And definitely, you're trailing behind now. The lead went back in favor of the Glazers. And you're in a situation where you're on this half buy, so you have 2 Phantoms and what? I think they forced another one, so you might have three rifles and lore buys for the other 2. Now Stellar is trying to call something that they could do here on their attack. And so far, it just becomes an information game for both of these teams, not only through the Sky Util, but also with their Euro all the time. Yet, even on defense here for Turtle Troop, they have this wingman to work with as well. So you could get actual active information and consistent information through different types of time cycles. But it seems as though you want to keep using this flash for info towards this long lead. Adder instead just going for the jiggle first and realizes now that there's the same conditioning from TG. There's some sort of contact towards the long B. They don't know how many exactly from the Glazers are working together here towards this A site. And interestingly enough, we went for a pit, so we committed into this buy now for Turtle Troop, where they forced behind the rifles that they save. I'm intrigued to find out what they're going to do with this.
All right, there comes the decoy, now Showstopper. Making its way down. And a good read into what that decoy was, but Vito knew. They needed to raise that angle. They weren't expecting it. As a matter of fact, but even then, Dizzy still pushed out. Oh my goodness, they're just piling in, but even with the right click, TTR somehow are bringing things back.
Corey was getting blocked by B-Dog and said, screw it, I'll just run back and try to get a classic kill and got one. And Adder gets a kill, another one, a headshot, and oh my god, no, don't tell me this is gonna happen again.
A thrifty round to turn away the pace of how things are going. Okay, but there is an orbital strike. Even then, they're still going to try to rush this.
Open up the
not the best bet. They push themselves out of action, and even then, leaving a crack for Adder just to peek through and take out Riku.
Oh, man, and even the orbital strike. If only Riku was able to spin it a little bit more to the left. I know that it was quick. They had to find the application on the iPad, and sometimes it's too quick. They're rushing you, and you couldn't place the orbital strike at the right spot to even just cover the door at least for you to get away. And they were hoping that it would actually catch both players rotating across, but that would have been an opportunity moment to just reposition right after that and look at that gap. Just easy for the last two players to retake the site there, and it becomes, again, a shambless buy for Turtle Troop, an invested pit that still converts into a victory for Turtle Troop. That Corey classic kill still baffles me.
Over the top, trying to find a flash. Make some sort of noise. And being given away, so information collected on the side of the Glazers. They know there's at least 3 players just sitting themselves down. And with the op on Corey, not found out just yet. Maybe shortly.
Still got a TP too, so once they clear out this area, Flash maybe can follow behind, or can peek out, TP out towards towards B to faster rotate towards the A site. The Glazers are full committed now towards the A site plant. Seekers coming out from the TP. And a pit comes out for a full.
Ah, the brutal part about having the Phantom is the headshot hit for 140. Now you just gotta kind of live with the fact that you quite possibly could have run away with that pick. Either way, still getting the heal out. And of course, Viper's pit going down.
Yeah,
and going, yeah.
Very early molly there just to allow here the Viper to get in position towards tree. And now they play post plant lineups, which they should be fine now.
Yeah, up ready though. Okay, Jiggle Peak coming through. Thought Drone was going to make it, but unfortunately not. Fusel there, and it is going to be possibility for Precision to run away with this one. Ange and Precision working together to take TTR down, and a round win from them. Match point.
This is nice for TG, and that is a broken buy for TTR. Where it matters the most, where they needed that econ in their favor. The Glazers are at the point where they could push this into a third map. And again, this could have been, and should have been, a 2-0 if that's the case, because the Glazers technically should have gotten that first series, or the first map rather, if they didn't get thrifty twice in the last few rounds of that first map. This may happen again here, though, for Turtle Troop. They got Guardians to work with. They want to add aggression. They deny Orb, and they have a dimensional drift to work with. Hopefully with that, get some sprays through.
I'll handle this.
Okay, the smokes have been set down, and Drone did try to find something.
Spike planted.
And the manage they did, but of course creating that space as the duelist that are still stuck on the backside. And the information given away by Corey. Not much to play with though. Of course, so many players are sitting on the extremities, and you can see the flank.
It's much needed. Big bodies with it to make sure that they could run their pulse plant mollies. So keeping Weeded at bay. Now you have to focus more lineups.
Oh, the flash is great. And Zachary run away with it though. Again, match point. And that's the issue though.
Attackers
That being
win.
said, that's going to be a victory from the Glazers, and they're still in the running. The possibility is there for them to run away with the series, and they did take that away with a 13-11.
Told you it was going to be a good game between these two teams, and at the same time, though, you got to say that dimensional drift that Corey had in that round number 24, it would have been nice to actually get some information, at least a spray. I mean, Stellar was already there at that B site, or sorry, at the A site with the Vandal to potentially maybe get one or a one and done even at that point, but he was stuck with Util smoking out showers instead of trying to capitalize on ping kills that Corey could have done there for the team. So greatly done here by the Glazers to continue their resiliency because they was trailing behind here against TTR, and now they're able to push this to a third and final map.
A third and final map, but of course that does mean we have more maps on the horizon right after this short break.
I mean, yes.
Face.